folks. Welcome to the Recruiting Intel with my guy, Coach Dub, Justin Wells, here to talk a little bit about the Texas High School Coaches Association convention that was just going on. You saw all the big names over there. You saw Sark, you had Joe McGuire, everybody in town. The man, when Will Muschamp stepped up to the podium, guys, that was a packed house. There were a lot of people in there ready to hear from the new Texas DC and just really kind of get just his vibe, what it looks like. I don't know what you're mad about already, Joshy, but you turn that attitude around when you walk in here. Oh no, you better get together, man. So again, guys, we'll talk about Will Muschamp.
Yeah.
What
Tell
that means
Josh
for
get game face, Joshy.
Yeah, Josh,
come on, man. We expect better from you.
Absolutely. And again, here to talk with Will Muschamp and what these coaches are saying about the Will Muschamp and how that affects recruiting, guys. But before we get into it, go ahead and hop over to Inside Texas. $1, you new subscribers, we talk about it all the time. Got to take advantage of it. That'll get you a member of On3, Rivals, and Inside Texas. You get all that fun content. Then you get half off of your membership after that. Josh is locked in, guys. We're ready to rock. We can officially start Must Champions. Hey, we are locked in. We're ready to rock. Hey, Coach, you were there. You were in Houston. Talk to me a little bit about listening to Coach Muschamp and, just how locked in everybody was to hear from him and, of course, what they had to say.
Well, look, I wish I could have attended, right? But I had some coaches and people that I know that were there. I had to come back to Dallas, but I just got corrected on Twitter. I said it was standing room only. They was like, no, it was packed like sardines in there, right? So they didn't know what sardines in the can. It's like, that's what they said it was like. But, man, everybody was locked in to see Will Muschamp. The legend is back. And all the Texas high school coaches and some from neighboring states across the Red River won't even say the name of the state. They were there, right? Just to listen to Will Muschamp and hear him talk football, X's and O's. And they got more than that. They got life on about football, how he goes about teaching, developing kids, how they walk into the building. It's not just X's and O's. He throw pop quizzes at them all the time just to get their brain thinking and get them going as soon as they step into the building, right? I think that's important because he's trying different methods to teach kids the game of football and just get them alert, get their mind going, teaching them everything from how he wants their feet pre-snap, like everything. Like Muschamp is a mad scientist when it comes to teaching defense, and so it was good. Everybody locked in, taking their notes and trying to learn from one of the best.
One of the best indeed. Now, he wasn't definitely one of the best 2 decades ago, Coach. Was there some inquiring minds wondering, hey, does Will Muschamp still got it? What do you think about that, Justin?
I don't think he ever lost it, to be honest with you. I think Will Muschamp is one of those guys that, he's a quick riser in the college football ranking, in the college football world, rather. And got a head coaching job. Like, he worked his way into becoming a head coach of a program after becoming just a dynamic defensive guy. The head coaching thing didn't work. And I'm not saying it couldn't work in the future, but it didn't work out. This happens a lot. And what happens is the guy usually does like a resettling, a reshuffling, a refocusing of what his goals are and decides, you know what? Maybe I can just be an amazing defensive coordinator. Maybe that's my role. He went through the head coaching type stuff. To me, that's huge because it's a mindset thing now. It's something that if you've played in college and then you go into coaching, you have to change from a player mentality to a coach's mentality. It's a real life thing that everybody in their mid to late 20s probably goes through. Will Muschamp figured out, maybe I'm not a head coach, but I'm a damn good defensive coordinator, probably one of the best in the country. I still know how to connect with these kids. And now I don't have to focus on 3rd and 3 and focus on special teams and focus on if this kid's going to visit this weekend. All I have to focus on is my guys bringing hat on a regular basis. Will Muschamp never lost his fastball. He just put it in his back pocket and stashed it for a while he was a head coach. Once he got these DC chops back, he's throwing fireballs now.
Oh, I mean, really well said. And again, there could be a myriad of different reasons why, a coach, quote unquote, fails, as a head coach, but he's an excellent coordinator. And you see it's not just Will Muschamp who might be, just lifetime coordinator. I mean, he's really, really good in that role. Again, he stepped away a little bit to watch his kid play. And so that has a little bit to do with why you haven't necessarily seen him in charge of a particular defense and a little bit more game plan oriented. But what does this mean for Texas recruiting? What does this look like? Because obviously you're going to have a lot of coaches leaving this convention. Sounds very pleased and happy by what they heard with Will Muschamp.
Yeah, look, the biggest thing you can do is get trust from Texas high school football coaches, right? They're pretty much has the ear of all of their players. When the player needs advice or something, they're going to go talk to their coach. who does the coach trust? And let's just put it out there. Most coaches in the state are Texas fans. I'm just going to say it is what it is. They light up when a Texas logo, whoever it is, whatever coach it is, they walk in that office or that school building, they light up like kids too, right? And so it's good to see, but somebody they can trust. They feel like if I send my kid off to you, I know he's going to be developed, he's going to get coached hard. He's going to be better than when he leaves here. He's going to be better when he leaves Texas, even better. So it's all of those things combined. And once you got the trust in the ear of a coach, man, it speaks volumes. And a lot of the coaches here were just speaking and raving about, Will Muschamp, him still having it, right? I know my kid's going to be okay if he goes plays for Will Muschamp. He may make it to the NFL and live out all his dreams. But if he doesn't make it to the NFL, I know he's going to be a better man than when he left here in high school. So that's really key.
I want to piggyback off him real quick. I was a big PK guy. I love Pete Kwiatkowski. I've got to talk to him a few times. Like, dude is a really good guy, really good coach. I don't like the way it ended, but it is what it is, and he's moved on. He wasn't instrumental in a lot of defensive recruitments. Was he the reason they landed Lance Jackson? Yes. But a lot of those other guys, he was just involved. He wasn't a primary guy. He was, if you're going to play defense, you need to talk to our defensive coordinator. And, of course, he would sign off on the offer and things of that sort.
Right.
Will Muschamp, Charlie and I figured out within, about a month of him getting the job, Will Muschamp was blowing up every defensive target every day. He was either talking to mom, talk to a coach, texting with the player. I'm not talking just kids in his region. I'm not talking defensive kids. I'm talking kids. He is lining these kids up. I was surprised by that, honestly. Now, I knew Will Muschamp was going to be a hands-on kind of recruiting type guy. I had no idea he was going to build. Listen, he has relationships with players that are committed to other schools that you guys have no clue how close he's getting to these guys. Yeah. Like when we talk about Flip City in October, November, December, those conversations are going to come up because Muschamp has done so much work this spring and summer connecting with those kids. Charlie and I have talked about this before. I love PK. PK never used this, never initiated that contact daily and that connection. Muschamp is doing this every day. With a young man's energy. I'm telling you, I think the guy has found his second wind.
That's well said. And again, I mean, passion. Like he's in guys' faces, but like Coach said, there's been relationships built there. Whole different world. If you're jumping in a guy's face, there is nothing there. There's no substance to that relationship. He's going to respond probably a little bit differently than a guy that, you're football quizzing, you're asking questions about real life. You're really getting to know that person, know that family. And so I can imagine that's what it's like for Will Muschamp in recruiting. We got a question here from our good friend Vic. Hey guys, make sure you're throwing a like on the video, please. When Will Muschamp was here the first time, unfortunately for me, Jay, I hadn't found you guys at Inside Texas yet. I didn't get to focus on recruiting back then as much as I would have liked to, even as a high schooler. But did he focus mostly on in Texas, in-state Texas kids, or was he looking out of state as well?
Oh, man, that's a good question, Charlie. I looked at that earlier. I think it's a combination. I really do. I think he recruited Florida and Georgia pretty hard just because that's where he'd come from. That's where his recruiting chops were. That's what he was familiar with. I think the first go around in Texas introduced him to Texas high school football. It kind of gave everyone, okay, this is kind of different. This is who you are. That helps him now. But I don't think there was a primary focus, and I could be wrong, but like I think I remember. I remember Will Muschamp coming to Dangerfield High School to get Steve Edmond. Like he went everywhere. Like Muschamp, if you were a defensive target, he was coming for you everywhere. And so it's a good question, Victor. But, back then, I think it was more of a balance. Now I think it's the same balance. I think he's hitting out of state just as much as he's hitting Texas. But back then, I don't remember him going one way or the other. I knew he found a kid in East Texas. He found a defensive lineman in South Carolina and Ben Alexander. Like he found random kids all over the place. And so I don't think he had one particular spot.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. I think if I'm not wrong, Lamar Houston's from Colorado, right?
Lamar Houston was a running back in Colorado. Yeah.
And then you have Nolan Brewster, which, his dad.
I was going to say,
he was in Colorado at the time, but yeah.
Well, it's crazy about Nolan Brewster is his dad. His son, Nolan plays in the Big 12. His dad gets on Twitter and starts trashing the Big 12. And then I had mentioned that to his dad, and I got blocked.
Yeah, I remember that whole sequence playing out too. I think I watched it all unfold, which was why I was going to say a little bit ironic. Part of the 2008 recruiting class, the only out-of-state player was Nolan Brewster. But Michael mentioned it. I mean, right there, yeah. Brian wanted to lock down Texas. He wanted to have a firm grasp on the state borders. That and definitely understand why he
Rarely
would,
went
man.
out of state.
A lot of really, really good talent out there in the state of Texas, as we all know. Hey, guys, this show is brought to you by Roback. Big shout out to our friends and folks over there. Thanks for sponsoring today's show. Guys, make sure you're using code INSIDE20 at roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. This discount applies to all performance polos, shorts, hoodies, Q-zips, and more. Head to roback.com and use your INSIDE 20 to save today. 20 to save 20% today. So inside 20, getting you 20% off a Roback. I'm a big Roback golf polo guy. They've got 1776 performance gear. Shout out America. You can get alligators, whatever type of style you want. You can get it over there at Roback.
The hoodies are banging, man.
It's quality stuff over there. So again,
Really
shout out to those guys. Thanks for sponsoring today's show. How about we flip some line? Hey, we're talking about Will Muschamp. I've got a feeling Justin kind of alluded to it. There might be something big at some point in this class. I'm not going to pretend like I know what it is because we know how Texas football rolls. You guys ruling that out and giving that a chance. What do you think?
Oh, there's a good chance that's going to happen. You just don't know right now. Late July is such a weird, funny time in the recruiting calendar. It's still a dead period. The coaches are coming off vacation. Kids are trying to find spots before they start their senior season. 2-a-days is literally a couple of days away.
Yeah.
Like we're in such a weird little spot right now. It's hard to kind of figure out what's what, but they've got some linebackers on their mind. Joakim Gouda, they're not going to stop recruiting him. It's going to be hard to pull a Georgia kid out of Georgia that's already committed to Georgia, that grew up loving Georgia. But I mean, Sark will do it just to piss Kirby off. They like Sean Fox. They love Jaden Nelson. Listen, Jaden Nelson, I don't think they're going to stop recruiting Jaden Nelson. I think Nelson signs with Tech. Don't get me wrong. But they're not going to stop. They're not going to let up on that kid. And so, yeah, there's some flip targets out there. Give Texas, we're in the time now where if you're not going to flip that guy today, you're probably not going to flip him tomorrow or in the next week or the next week after that. It's probably going to come in the season because literally these guys are a week away from starting their football season, their high school football season. Yep. So and not saying you can't do a flip then. I'm just saying a lot of times more other things become prioritized. Other things become more important in the moment. And true. And you know what Texas loves to do? Don't forget, Sark loves that long game. He loves that. He loves because it gives him an opportunity to make the best evaluation possible because over the course of that, if towards the end they don't like it, they'll just pull off. And they haven't invested anything more past that. So, yeah, never say never. I'm with you, TW. It's one of those things. I think Muschamp's going to flip a major linebacker before signing day. It's just, I would be shocked if that does not happen.
And imagine the scenario in which Texas has, some proof in the pudding, if you will, with what they're going to do on defensively. And he can show, hey, I can put you in this spot or this spot here. And this is exactly what it will look like. And hey, maybe you got other coaches telling you, maybe I did lose my fastball. Maybe it's regressed to a changeup now. Clearly you see differently right there. So, one last thing here. Any comments, Foster, the next 28 commit? You guys, any comments on that?
David, tell him, Charlie.
Look, I'm gonna go see Mr. Foster here soon. But yeah, man, look, is the next 28 commit? I don't know if he's gonna be the next 28 commit or not, but I like where Texas sits in this recruitment. Look, that kid, I know Justin says this all the time.
He's a thumper.
Like one of those kids is just like he has a Longhorn written all over him from his athletic profile, the way he is off the field. You got Chris Gilbert, who used to coach at Lancaster High School. Like it's so many ties to Texas there. It almost makes sense. But if I call him the next, if he doesn't be the next 28 commit, I'm sure you're gonna blow me up on Twitter. But that's okay. Come to Inside Texas and blow me up. That's okay.
There you go.
But
next 28. You know who Foster is, man? Who reminds me of? He's got some BJ Foster to him.
He does.
He does. He's not the running back. He's not the athlete, the cerebral athlete BJ was. BJ could have played running back at Texas as well as he played safety.
Right.
And probably done just as well. But, I mean, there's some BJ Foster traits at safety back there. He's a thumper.
He is.
This kid is going to get a targeting penalty once or twice a year. It's going to happen. And you know what? I'm all in. David Rawls, I'm in too, brother.
Yeah.
I'm in. I love those. I love those headhunters. I'm telling you, if BJ Foster would have lasted longer in Austin, he would have decapitated somebody. He's just one of him or Overshown. They can just disassemble you.
Yeah,
that's just the way they are. James Foster's a lot like that, man. He brings hat, he tracks, he smacks. Like Charlie said, I don't know if he's going to be the next guy in the 2028 class, but I love where Texas is at, and I wouldn't have a hard time putting an RPM for that kid at all. He's going to come in and he's going to play early and often.
Yeah.
Things you love to hear. Which guy from Shadow Creek?
There's like 90.
I'm about to say that's my thing. They do things pretty well over there.
Charlie, well, they've got Brandon Sherrard, who's committed.
Right. Who's committed?
They had Chris Stewart from the class before, and maybe he's talking about Jalen Adai, or he's talking about Brandon LaFell's son. What was Brandon's son? LaFell's son, BJ. It's BJ.
It is BJ LaFell.
Okay, so if you've been around Shadow Creek, it's like a who's who of NFL kids.
Yeah.
Eric and I went to a camp during the spring, and we walk up, and it's just a bunch of former NFL football players standing in a huddle because all their kids are out there participating. From BJ LaFell, Brock Berlin, Joseph Adai was out there. It was crazy. Yeah, wide receiver. They're all wide receivers. Jalen Adai plays running back, wide receiver. LaFell plays quarterback, running back, wide receiver. They're all multifaceted athletes. I'm going to assume you're talking about Jalen Adai. It's so early in that kid's recruitment. But it's cool talking to his dad. Don't just assume he's going to go to LSU. Dad's from Texas. Dad was a Sharpstown quarterback, if y'all didn't know that. Joseph Adai, that played running back at LSU and for the Indianapolis Colts. He was a quarterback at Sharpstown. And so those guys have Texas ties. And it's so early with Jalen Adai. Just don't try to get any read on that right now whatsoever. Just sit back and enjoy it. He's going to have 45 offers by the time he announces. He's going to be one of the top 10 kids in the country, and Texas is going to be right there. They have got a great little pipeline at Shadow Creek, and I like to see them maintain that.
This is why Michael's one of my favorites. Sells and Royal end up at Boston College. Like, I never in a million years could have sat here watching this show with us three goofballs and thought to type that in. It's fun.
Hey, I know the recruiting coordinator, the director at Boston College. I'm gonna ask him about this, because if he's in on these two, Michael Welch has some intel that we can't touch.
Yeah. Right.
So good stuff, Mike.
There you go. Teaching us today, guys. All right, fellas. Anything else before we get out of here? The vacuuming stopped. I'm still in Tampa. I'll be back covering SEC Media Days as soon as this is over. They've stopped though, so we got time if y'all want to keep going for a minute. Y'all got any more recruiting nuggets for anyone out there?
Where do you work? I just posted something on Jamarius Canton, big time offensive tackle. He's back in East Texas. He was at the IMG Academy. Got some quotes and stuff posted at InsideTexas.com. Come see us. There's 3 schools in the mix: Texas, Texas Tech, and Miami. If that doesn't get your attention in a recruitment, I don't know what will. Come see us. I know Charlie's always working on something. His stuff on Muschamp yesterday was gold, pure gold, and that's why we love him.
Yeah, that's why we did this show today. Again, if you missed Charlie's article, go check it out over on Inside Texas. And if you're not subscribed, just do it for $1, guys. Come check us out. $1. As Justin likes to say, let us earn that dollar. We appreciate you guys watching Inside Texas. Again, go share this with a friend, throw a like on the video, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, guys.